of show is this? Oh, that's right. It's the Ghost Talk show. Watch the Ghost Talk because Aaron, what is it, G. Thompson? Oh, my God. He is so awesome. My name's Elizabeth Saint. I'm from Destination America. Seriously, watch the Ghost Talk. This guy's amazing.
Hello, people of the world. Hi, welcome to Ghost Talk, the most active paranormal show on YouTube. I'm glad you're joining us. This is episode 1, so be very proud of yourself. You tuned in, so good luck making it through the rest of the show. You can do it. I have faith in you. Well, of course, I'm not the only one sitting up here ready to talk ghosts. I have here straight from Chicago, the good old Chi-Town. Ow, ow!
That's me, man.
Hey, awesome.
Aaron Hunter here. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
thanks for being here. I know you took a long trip.
Yeah. I'm here in town. I grew up here in the Quad Cities. My parents and family and some friends are still here, and you just happen to be in this area, which is cool. So
cool.
Yeah, it all worked out.
Awesome. Well, on my right, your guys' left, I have another fellow ghost crier here in good old Midwest with me, Travis.
Hey, I'm Travis Shepard, and I'm the team historian. So I'm from right here in the Quad Cities, born and bred, and I'm excited to be here. And
awesome. Cool.
Can't say enough good things about this.
This is awesome.
It's awesome.
Right.
Awesome sauce, man.
Awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce is the best type of sauce.
Don't live in the past. That's my motto. Okay, guys. So we do have a show here. We actually have show notes, and we have good hot topics that we want to discuss. Of course, I know some of you tuning in or streaming in, however you want to call it, may not know who we are. That's cool. We'll discuss at the end of the show. Most of you probably don't care who we are, so we're just going to get to the news. Those who do care, go through the whole show. Wait, we'll let you know who we are. So, guys, this huge scenario recently hit, I think, the news and, of course, media outlets. Ryan Buell from Paranormal State was arrested.
Yeah.
He was...
I like that guy, actually, but...
Now... I haven't watched too much of the Paranormal State show itself, but with him being such a big, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts on this, guys. With him being such a big face to the paranormal scene, with him, heading up Paranormal State, he's been a voice for so many years now. Him and I are the same age. He's 34, still young. Got into it when he was still in college. So people trust him. And I think that's maybe the biggest concern, because what he was, for those who may not know what he was actually arrested for, it was theft, actually. He's misdemeanor charges of theft due to taking in ticket sales and not coming up with a product, canceling the shows, and not giving refunds.
Right. He wanted to do a new paranormal conference type shows around the Midwest area, from what I understand, and other parts of America. And constantly throughout the last 2 years, I think is that he constantly kept on canceling the shows, and people were not getting their money back, and people were being very verbal about it. And just I don't know, his latest venture into doing a conference. Yet again, he canceled the shows and he kept people's money, and that's too bad. And right. There's an outcry of people who worked with Ryan in the past, know his behavior, and they already suspected that there's something wrong with the guy, with perhaps substance abuse.
Well, there was a letter or an email or message.
Because his mother was saying, please don't blame him. He has an issue of some sort. She didn't say it was abuse, substance abuse or not, but there's a pretty strong indicator that's what it was.
At the same time, she was urging people not to support this, saying if you support his future stuff, you're just enabling him. So
She actually said that. She says, please, people, don't give him money for whatever he's trying to do, like sell a book or sell time on Twitch. I guess he was on Twitch for a while.
Right.
Don't enable him. Yeah, you're right.
Now, go to Travis real quick here. You've know of other big events or big situations that are similar to this.
yeah, it's funny because there was just one thing in like the heavy metal community that sort of came up. There's something called farm rock, and that was supposed to be a big charity fundraiser type of thing. I had never heard of it, but all of a sudden there's this metal talk show host named Eddie Trunk. He had a show on VH1. He's got a show in the New York area, and he all of a sudden said, do not invest in this farm rock thing. A lot of people had invested in it. The proceeds were supposed to go to charity with a little money back for the investors, and this guy just basically got up and ran. And
wow.
He's underground right now. Nobody knows what happened to him. The latest farm rock concert has been canceled.
And this guy who did it was on VH1?
No. He was a host. Sorry,
Okay.
I should have. He was hired to host the event, and he posted on Twitter. He's like, "Do not support this guy." Right. And actually, his name escapes me right now. Whoever the farm rock guy was, the other guy's name, who got stiffed, was Eddie Trunk. And so he said, be weary of this guy. I think he's underground right now, but if he springs up and starts saying this, then don't give him any money, because right now I even heard the FBI might be after him because it was a lot of money. This wasn't just which is funny because I had never heard of this concert until
I never heard of it either.
Yeah. Farm rock. I guess it's down in Oklahoma. This guy's a businessman from Arizona, so.
I like it. I think we should do like a ghost rock or something.
Ghost rock.
Ghost rock.
You know who we could get to headline?
Not
Ghosts. I don't know. I'm seeing them next Wednesday.
You can see them.
Yeah.
You
can. They're not very good at their tangible objects.
Yeah, but so you got Ron Buell, who's famous in the paranormal community. They have his TV show, so his people believed in him. But this guy you were talking about, this guy's nobody, but he took a lot of people of their money.
Yeah.
So people are not, they're giving money away and they get stiffed,
And that's
I've been a billionaire probably 3 times this year so far because I get these emails from Persia saying that I'm a lost brother and I need to send them $4,000 so I can get my other refunds back.
Because I have a cousin actually in Uganda, similar situation.
Wait a minute.
Wait, guys.
You're my brother?
Are we related?
You guys have millions of dollars. We got a bigger issue.
We got the same skin type and everything.
I know. We're like totally ethnically the same.
I just get emails saying I'm missing love or something. I'm not sure if my wife would appreciate it.
The thing about this is, though, it's this whole culture now is kind of based around Kickstarter. It's interesting because there's so many good things that come from that. I actually just funded a Kickstarter by a band called Electric Six. So a lot of good stuff comes from this. This is the 4th time they've done a Kickstarter. They always deliver. They're a great band, one of my favorites. But then you have there's actually articles out there you can find all the list of things that were bogus,
Especially with Kickstarter, because people just dump their money in there, and they can correct me if I'm wrong, but they can run with that in a sense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no laws that.
What about GoFundMe? There's people that are stating, "Hey, can you help me pay for my rent?"
Oh yeah.
GoFundMe pages.
Well, let's look at this as maybe a bigger issue, guys, because as you stated, there was a nobody that did the kind of expose people and took money in for tickets. And then here on the other end, we have Ryan, who is absolutely a somebody, especially in the paranormal realm of the universe. The name's known. He you see his name, you want to pay, you want to dump, $250 or whatever, how much he was charging because you want to see him. You're a fanatic.
Yep.
So it does have a concern that, is it a safe time, or do you see the world of paranormal events? And I'll address this to you, Aaron. Do you see an individual or a team, a unit going out there that does these events? I mean, do you see issue with that, or the I guess not necessarily an issue with that, but the crowd or the audience or the people that want to go out? Do you see maybe loss of ticket sales, or you know?
It could be, you know, since it's in the public eye, maybe quite a few people are going to be a little leery. But the thing is, we got to understand is that it's always been pretty safe out there in the past, and you know, if it's a $15 a head thing, if you get ripped off for $15, it's $15.
Right.
But the Ryan and Buell thing, $200, $200 plus. And so I don't think a small organization is going to take $100, $200 from one night and run with it. You don't see it happen. At least I haven't heard of too many small people doing it.
It seems to be that this guy has started to make a habit of doing this, almost like he, you know, maybe he's late on his rent or something, and he's like, oh, I gotta.
Oh yeah, there
he's
you go.
Intentionally doing this.
Even addiction. I mean, if it is addiction, of course nothing's been released. But if it goes that way, that's nasty to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, you would do
You can't help
anything
yourself.
Yeah, to feed that. That's normal. So yeah, you know, and I'm with you. It, of course, is a concern that such a big name is doing this. But you're right. We haven't heard of this coming out, especially with the smaller groups with so much passion that you guys have out there watching. Even, you know, the folks that go to a lot of the events. And I really do encourage that everyone goes to events. I think they're fun. The big thing with events, though, because a lot of them host a haunted kind of scenario.
Yeah,
and group ghost hunt.
And these are usually small towns across America.
Right.
And guess what? If someone comes into town and leaves with your money, the local newspaper is going to hear about it. People are going to complain, and you know, that's where the word starts coming out. The whole Ryan Buell thing is just national. You know, it's international, or not international, but national news.
Well, you know, and to kind of pull back on the whole idea of the group hunts that are being, you know, in the different haunted areas, they're fun and they're fun to go to. I think a lot of people have misconceptions with the group hunts, just because they want a good intimate experience to see a ghost. So they want to have that. They want to have that exposure. The kicker is with those group events, they're networking, man. You've got to go out there to have fun, enjoy the folks, learn the area, see if that's an area you want to go back, location-wise. And it's at a cut cost, so you're getting entertained. You're getting a location, a fun location to go into. So again, I do advise, you know, check out events. They're awesome. Yeah, I don't see this going a negative way, but it's concerning.
Right.
Travis, any final thoughts on this?
You know, just like with anything, if you're investing money in something, whether it is $15 or $200, you just got to research it. How legit are they? And
Right.
you know, if it's 15, once again, like you said, not that big of a risk. If it is 200, you gotta, you know, really know that you're going to get your money's worth. Unfortunately, this guy has proven he's not reliable, but there's other great organizations out there, Unity.
Yeah. Hey, there
you know,
we go.
definitely, if they're great, then invest in it, and hopefully you have a great time. You learn something.
And send them an email if the return email sounds like something like a 13-year-old wrote. You might want to question that.
There you go.
Bad grammar. Unfortunately now, man, grammar's so bad. Grammar and spelling, and it's horrible.
All right, guys. Here's what's not horrible.
Okay.
Here's what's not horrible. Happy National Ghost Hunting Day.
There you go, man.
Oh,
First annual National Ghost Hunting Day.
I'm so happy right now.
And you should be. You should be. Because this is such a cool event to bring awareness to.
It is cool.
Really, to this, I guess, pseudoscience, right? Based on theories and mythologies. So I think this is a good thing. And if you go to, I believe they have a live stream over at worldsghosthuntstreams.com, as well as nationalghosthuntingday.com. You can check out that website. It'll be linked below if you're interested in actually doing this event. But let's talk about it. Is this a good thing? Is this something that's going to drive the culture still?
I think it is. I think it's going to gain momentum as the years go by, and more people are going to become more curious that weren't even involved in the paranormal before.
Right.
So it may be easier for them to get involved with the amount of people that are involved as far as helping
Right,
these
right.
people. Some people just don't want to go because they think it's a little bit kooky. And you got these small groups, and these small groups might be a little bit kooky too. But this is like a big national movement. And it may just start attracting people that would never have gone to something like this, but may consider it now. So
Yeah, if it's made into a bigger thing, I think it's kind of cool that it just gets people out and interacting with each other. And I'm kind of like the resident skeptic here. We're all skeptic to a degree.
I think you have to be.
I'm
if you really want to do something like this truthfully, you guys have to be a skeptic.
yeah.
oh yeah,
But at the same time, I'm go out
Open,
there and
right?
enjoy it. And even if you at the end of the day you're like, it's a bunch of crap. Hopefully you had fun, and that's kind of like one of the things that we're trying to do is give the total experience. It's not just about ghost hunting; it's about learning the area, learning the history.
Wasn't there a gentleman over at the Building 1 inspection? He says, I don't really. He was an older gentleman, maybe in his upper 50s, along with his wife, and he said, I don't really believe in this stuff, but I just like hearing the talk and the history of the place and the ghost story. So this guy he decided to come on out, pay his ticket money, and he was just expecting a good evening of stories.
Right.
So.
And that was such an awesome experience. Of course, Aaron joined me for my first group event.
Yeah, there's some sort of theme going on.
Yeah, first.
Aaron, I got my first. I need to do my first oil change. Can you help me out?
Yeah.
It's like no, let's stop it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's too much.
Got my first. I was about to say waterbed for some strange reason.
Your first. Hey, you want to come test out? This is my first waterbed.
This is going to be
I know.
edited out.
The 80s passed me, but I thought this would be kind of a cool thing.
It's my first windowless van. You want to come sit in the back with me?
I found candy. It's
Free
free.
candy.
It's all over the place.
I don't know.
I see ghosts now too. It's strange. Everywhere.
The waterbed is in the van.
Man, this is good.
All right, this got weird. Maybe we should bring it back.
Oh yeah, a ghost, right? That's what
Yeah,
we're
that's
talking
what
about.
we were talking
Okay.
about.
All right.
So
Nice bed, by the way, though.
right. With the national the
I
ghost
totally
hunting
forgot what
event,
we were talking about now.
70
that's right.
teams across five countries are doing this.
Wow. What are some of the
doing this
countries?
event. I have no clue off the top of my head.
Okay.
Probably Germany.
All right, didn't you kind of write it down there?
Oh, yeah, I did. Australia.
I wouldn't have put you on the spot if I
Man.
didn't think you had the answer somewhere in the vicinity. All right, Australia. The
Australia.
Australian ghosts. That's
Ireland. Colombia. UK.
UK, yeah.
All the folks at UK.
Hey,
how you
guys.
doing?
Sharon Clark.
And USA.
that's here.
That's right in our homeland. It's
Wow.
written down right
I
there.
think it's around here somewhere.
Yeah. That's why I tell these guys, bring your own notes. Don't look off my notes because I don't. I may or may not have actually.
I would love to go to
thank you, my
a
wife.
ghost hunt in Ireland, though.
I would
That'd be
think
awesome.
it would be cool.
God.
Now, some of the interesting things are when like the big ghost hunters, the TV teams go across seas and they're in areas that don't speak the native language. And of course, I haven't seen too many. To be honest with you, I haven't seen too many of the shows, so I can't discuss on their procedures on how they do that. If they had an interpreter or anything, but that'd be strange to do like an EVP session.
Yeah. Like if one of us were to go to
Right.
Japan,
Would we still
would-
hear it in English? Oh,
well,
they said-
it would be probably neat to do a show like that. You're gonna just have someone that interprets English into
Right.
Japanese. That'd be kind of neat.
You know, maybe that's a thing. So yeah, guys, check out the website. The website again is nationalghosthuntingday.com. If you're interested, I believe they're doing it today, October 1st, all the way until the end of October. So
Okay.
Perfect time to do it, though, right?
Halloween,
Yeah.
right?
Get your spook on, guys.
Pull out
Yeah.
all the great horror movies and get in the mood and.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies. Speaking of movies.
Wait, but speaking of great movies, though, I don't know if that's a good segue.
All right. Hi, everyone. There was a movie that was released not too long ago called Ghost Team. It's a wonderful movie starring John Heder. It had Justin Long. I remember his name off the top of my head. Tell us your thoughts a little bit about it, and
Well,
no spoilers.
Don't
No
hold back.
spoilers.
Don't hold back.
I'm a big cinephile. Just like Michael Bolton's a big cinephile. I'm a big cinephile,
This is the
So, I said to Aaron, I was like, maybe we could review if there's any like ghost-themed movies. Some of them might be kind of accurate, some might be totally just Hollywood.
Be fun.
And he said, well, there's this one. I don't know much about it. I just saw the title. And I'm like, that's cool. Just don't even tell me anymore, because I love just going to a movie not knowing anything. I wish I would have read a little bit about this movie, because I could have saved an hour and 35 minutes, I think it was.
You never know when a car wreck's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you can't.
Yeah, true.
So essentially, this is just a couple of nobodies that wanted to hunt ghosts. Another guy was more interested in aliens, apparently. They knew a little bit of the lingo. It was hard to pay attention to see how much of it was actually researched. And it was essentially just very poorly done. Unfortunately, because some of the cast was pretty cool. I mean,
Right.
Justin Long has done some great stuff. Napoleon Dynamite, who, by the way, I didn't even know Napoleon Dynamite was in it. I don't even know his real name.
John Heater.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the guy.
I like Napoleon.
And I was like, this guy kind of looks like an older version of Napoleon Dynamite. Like maybe if he straightened his hair a little bit. You're like, yeah, that's him. I was like, oh, okay.
Right. You're like, that guy kind of, yeah.
Do you think it might have been they're trying too hard to make it a cheesy movie, funny movie, or was it really they're pretty bad?
It's funny you say that, because some films, like you said,
Yeah.
they're so cheesy that they're good and they're just fun to watch. And this one, I don't know.
Jay and Silent Bob, things like that.
Yeah, but this one, I think they might have maybe went into it thinking it was going to be like that, but it was just bad. It was so bad, it was bad.
My and John Heater was probably the best actor, and I say that loosely. For what he was given with that role, the synopsis of the film is there's a big ghost hunting team out there, a national TV team that is looking to opening up a spot for someone for a contest. They have to enter their best ghost footage. So that's how the journey starts. The concept seems fun, especially for a comedy.
Right.
I'm like, okay, sold. My biggest problem, and I was catching this as we're meeting other different characters, is everyone, guys. Everyone seemed like an extreme caricature of what they wanted to be. Like an improv team all went on stage, and it's like, you're angry, you're sad,
You're the dopey
excited.
friend.
Yes, and I couldn't help but continue to see like this badly stage of.
It's funny because it almost seems like they tried to do some improv, like hoping to maybe capture the magic of Spinal Tap or what, and it just was way not.
Maybe it
like
was
that.
all improv. We don't know who wrote it.
Who
And it's
knows?
like, let's roll with the camera and catch ghosts.
I will say though, one of the most fun things about watching a bad movie is that you don't feel like you need to stay focused just on the movie, so you can get on your phone and just do a little research. I was like, wow, Napoleon Dynamite, I haven't thought of that guy in a while. And you find out fun facts. Like, did you know he's Mormon? There you go. He's.
I think I did actually.
Oh, okay, well.
I was like, I don't like match.
I didn't know that. And then
She's
I
Napoleon.
think that was literally the only fun fact I found. It was filmed in Long Island. Some of the scenery was actually pretty cool, but
The concept of the movie was super fun. And you brought it up to me
I haven't watched the movie, guys. So.
earlier. Spoiler.
I'm letting these guys. I'm just listening to these guys.
We were gonna hide it too. We were gonna act like we were just gonna go right in. So, how you like Justin Long? That was
Start doing what people are doing in the movie, just BSing their way through acting or
there
something.
you go. There you go.
Oh yeah, he's great, man.
the thing was, it felt like it could have been great if they would have approached it like the zombie movie we're talking about.
Oh, Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead. Because Shaun of the Dead was serious. It was a serious horror movie. with a comedy twist because that's who they were.
Yeah, the thing is, with like Shaun of the Dead, if you would have taken away the comedy, it still would have been a pretty good zombie movie.
Right.
So what they did, which was so genius, is they said, we're gonna make this comedy, but let's go into it and really respect the genre. And I mean, they respected the genre so much. The master of the Living Dead films, the creator of the modern day zombie, George Romero, he was like, "That's a good movie. That was a really good movie."
They owned it.
Yeah,
right?
they owned it, and so that's why that was so successful. But when you go into this, you don't know what it's supposed to be. They actually marketed it as part thriller. There was no thrills at ever. There was a few comedic moments, no thrills. I don't know.
I mean, they had potential, Travis. They had potential.
Anytime you have Justin Long in a movie, you have potential.
Right. I was thinking a Team, right? Anything Team America. That was
there you go.
A gold nugget, a classic.
You guys don't remember who produced the movie? No, don't remember.
No.
Who the producer was? Oh no, it was. I feel bad, but.
I didn't recognize any of the companies, or I think it was just totally independent. And
Okay.
Which I'm all for independent filmmaking, and there were good aspects of the film. So guys, don't think that the whole thing was just a flop. I mean, this is our opinion. We went in. Travis is a skeptic, and he's the cinephile.
Major cinephile.
So he's going to those eyes. I was going in, going, let's see what gear they use, see how accurate it is, and I was disappointed. But that doesn't mean this experience isn't for you. Maybe you will like it.
Maybe you're a big John Heater fan.
There you go.
And you just want to see everything he does. So in which case you're going to see it.
Was it done like a shaky?
I wish.
Can?
I wish they wished it.
No, it was actually pretty smooth. Which was one of the criticisms, was that they're holding up a lantern, and then the whole forest is illuminated from this one lantern, and it looked like LED illuminated. It wasn't even. I would almost respect it more if they had to do with the mag light in the back.
Yeah.
Trying to simulate the light, but I don't know, it just looked way too slick.
Like, is this something? And I'll throw this over to you, Aaron, since kind of stepping away from the movie, but not from the genre. Do you think that a ghost hunting, like a really good ghost hunting movie, can be produced? Because a lot of the movies that are coming out are horror movies or ghost related, but they don't involve like the hunters that we know, that we see on TV or that we've experienced or see in events.
I don't know. I'm sure you can produce one. It just depends. Everyone has different opinions. Just like I got my show, and I like doing things on my show that I think are funny, and I think I'm hilarious. But people say, you shouldn't do that. And I'm just saying, it's my show. But
you're getting paid the big
when
bucks.
you meet your own show, you do what you want.
And so I think what I would like to see is some real true ghost talk, and maybe following the team around on multiple investigations and getting the behind the scenes.
By the way, you hear that?
Yeah, and getting the behind the scenes of what they're talking about, what they're eating, getting that real feel. I know it's probably been done before, but I haven't seen a good one. I don't know what would make it really good.
I mean, I really think the idea of Ghost Team, I think they could have actually made a pretty good, fun. Because how else can
You were pretty excited to see it too.
I was.
And
so whoever did the marketing, we need to hire them.
There you go. Actually,
They got you guys.
well, man, I just went along with it.
I just didn't come over.
Yeah, when you look at the classic, obviously Ghostbusters is the all-time quintessential ghost hunting thing. But of course, it went Hollywood, which is one of the reasons why it's great.
Right.
But at the same time, one of the reasons why it was great was, even though some of that stuff a little unrealistic, at the same time it was all based on actual research that Dan Aykroyd had done. So it had a lot of respect for the paranormal aspect, and then in addition, it's just hilarious.
Well, it was kind of a horror movie in some aspects.
Yeah, let me rephrase what I said before. Ghostbusters is Hollywood, but as I was talking about having something real, you already have these ghost shows. And you also have all these independent ghost shows on YouTube. but they're all the same thing, man. They're all at night. They got
They
these
all have the
infrared
real
cameras.
footage, though.
Yeah, they all have the real footage.
Name.
Just about every night they go
Solid.
in there, something is happening that they think is paranormal. It doesn't happen like that, guys. And most of the places, it's just my opinion, but I think it's pretty rare to actually find something. And there's a reason why people are born and die throughout their whole lifetime and never experience anything paranormal. You just don't find it everywhere, at every location, in the dark.
Right.
So what I would like to see is have the lights on. And for instance, let's go back to Ryan Buell. In his show, he started off his show with during the daylight. They didn't go there at night. It was daylight, and they go and meet the client. And they got the lights on. And they got sunlight coming in through the window. So what they do is they sit there at the kitchen table and they say, hey, why are we here? What do you want us to do for you? What do you think we can do for you? I mean, real talk.
Right.
And then they go through their thing, and unfortunately, I think the producers of the show who have the money, they tell him to film at night. It's fine, but the next thing that Ryan did at the end of each show, he sits down with the people, and again, real talk. They go, so what do you think? You feeling okay? You feeling okay in this house? It was different. I liked it. Some people didn't, but I liked that sort of thing. All the other ghost shows are running around, come at me, demon. It's dark, grainy film, and they're screaming and yelling.
I think demon's the call word now.
Yeah,
A lot of
oh,
people-
man.
That's first it was ghost, and then ghosts weren't selling, and now it's demon. The next thing is I don't know what the next thing would be. I think they went through shadow ghoul.
The banshee.
The banshee.
Sharon, we need to know about the banshee over there in Ireland.
Yes. I'm actually quite Irish, if you couldn't tell by my allergies that have been.
Yeah.
And
He's a trooper, by the way. We got a rabbit in the corner and a cat. Who that's his real enemy.
And then, of course, all the ragweed out in the Midwest. The Midwest is beautiful, especially in October, but it's also hell for at least like the first 2 weeks, and then it's just pure heaven.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, guys, we're at our segment where we're going to take your questions. Of course, you guys can always give us questions at a Ghost Talk or send them to ghosttalk@ghostcrier.com. The link's below as well. Please send your questions. Ask us anything. Keep it ghost related, paranormal related. Ask us about
Maybe a few personal questions.
Personal questions, of course. Ghost
but
Crier.
mostly ghost related.
Ask us what our favorite color is. Spoiler alert, blue. So
Purple.
I would have guessed the boxers. So
We're not wearing pants right now, by
Yeah.
the way.
maybe this is the No Pants Ghost Talk show.
The fun show.
Well, the first question is from Stephanie. Stephanie is over there at Twitter.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? Thanks for sending in the question, by the way. Totally appreciate it. But you do ask, do you believe in attachments? Any experiences, or do you have, any experiences? I'll go ahead and, I'll start off with the skeptic here.
Man, why do you have to start off with me? Because the only attachments I can think of, it's like, I don't know, if there's a cobweb in the corner, you put it
You
on
had a
the
girlfriend in
vacuum,
high
and
school,
then-
right?
Oh, there you go. No, I'm actually kind of, I'm an amateur at this. I just started mainly with the history investigation. So why don't you tell me what that actually is? Because
Well, attachments, for those of you who aren't familiar as well, as some of you may be, an attachment is, say, example, this bottle of water. Someone passed at some point, say 100 years ago, this bottle was still around. For whatever reason, they really liked that bottle. It meant something to them. They attached themselves with an imprint, with a signature, with that energy. So wherever this lovely bottle goes, their dormant energy rises, follows, lets you know.
I see.
Or a person can have an attachment following them.
Absolutely.
They're called haunted people.
No, 100 people.
So, for instance, you go on an investigation for 5 years in a row, and you've been living at your same location for 5 years, and all of a sudden, one night you come home from an investigation, and all of a sudden your house is alive for whatever reason. Your doors are open and slamming. kitchens, noises in the kitchen, and it keeps on happening. And you know your own home, and the only thing that's happened is that recently you just came back from an investigation. I've read stuff like this before, and people find out that, hey, something liked them and followed them back home. And those aren't really fun because you're confused at
Right.
first.
There was a tactic early on when I was, researching a lot of this in the late 90s, early 2000s. There was a way that you can not have those attachments fall. I think a lot of people still do this practice. Not to say I believe it works or not, but before you leave an area, you turn around backwards so you're making eye contact in a sense with whatever energy, and tell them, "Do not follow me."
Sometimes they do listen. Sometimes.
So, yeah, the best way is to ask, honestly, because in theory, the energy is past, humans, individuals, intelligent beings.
Yeah, like some of these haunted houses, sometimes they say, I've read about this, is just ask them politely to stop scaring you. And guess what? A lot of times it stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell a lot of folks, they're like, well, Aaron, something's really scary. And I get messages online a lot about this. How do I stop this poltergeist activity? Or, how do I stop this evil entity? And a lot of people mistake, by the way, evil. They like to throw out that word a lot.
Yeah.
It almost goes to the whole 2-year-old theory. Your child, they can't speak, very well, but they're hungry and they know, what they want. So they cry. They throw a tantrum. They throw things around. Almost the same way when someone's in front of you, but you can't see them and they want you to know they're there, they're going to throw this water bottle on the ground. They want to make sure that you're aware. So evil, But anywho, I do let them know 2 things they have to have is a conviction, confidence and conviction. Confidence and conviction. Confidence in what you do, conviction in what you say. Don't half it if you're going to do something. Own it. But let me address the question with you, Aaron. Have you had any experience with attachments? Is that something?
No. The show that I do, we get stories from around the world from people experiencing. So, since 2010, I've been researching the paranormal, and all I know is what I've read. And I like what you said about having confidence. I call it intent. If you got intent to do something, for instance, you're going to use a Ouija board and your intent is to try to contact something evil, guess what? Something may happen and you may not like what you've done. But other people may use a Ouija board or maybe even draw out a Ouija board. It doesn't make a difference in my opinion. Ouija board's a brand name. But if you don't have the intent of you just, let's just try and you're laughing about it, it's probably not going to work. But yeah, as far as attachments, I read about it all the time. And people are, like I said, they're spooked because they're used to be around the paranormal. They're usually investigators. Right. And then they come home and the next few months, sometimes it starts off slow and then it builds up and they can't figure out what the heck's going on.
Right.
So
yeah, it can definitely be scary, especially, not expecting something like this. For me, have I had any attachments at all the places I've ran into and been around? I have not, at least that I'm aware of. Maybe.
What do you think about feelings? Like a lot of people say, the reason why you got depression now is because we know you're going out there doing these things and doing everything with the occult, and now something has attached itself to you. But then signs could be maybe, some people are affected by the weather, by winter, snow, being cooped up in the house, and then, or you might start drinking, or maybe you start taking a different type of medication from a doctor, and all of a sudden you get depression. Right. What do you think about it? I mean, you think they can cause depression in somebody, or just scare the hell out of them, basically?
And funny thing with scare the hell out of them, because a lot of people early on, again, when I was researching a lot of this, there was a lot of attacks that I was reading about spirits on humans. With further investigation, I found out that there was no attacks. It was actually the person was so scared and terrified, they tripped over their own feet. Yeah. They smacked their head against the wall. Yeah. They injured themselves because they see something that they don't believe, that's unknown, and it's terrifying to them. With the, and I'm sorry, Aaron, the question that you had again.
No. Do you think depression can be caused, your emotions can be caused by a ghost. You think someone can sit in their room and be all depressed, and there's like something just hanging out there saying, ha ha ha, I'm making you depressed. Or do you think it's more like most hauntings is things are moving around and it's trying to get your attention?
I think, yes, I
Okay.
do. I
Right.
do. And the reason why is because when, say, a spirit is in that energetic form, that energy form, I mean, all that is vibrations. It vibrates at a different rate, whether they're, when you have a loved one and you walk into a room and you know that they're upset. Maybe you're feeling this. Maybe that's a chemical reaction to your brain letting you know that you should be upset due to them being upset. Whatever it is, you kind of feel that.
Sure.
So you take away the physical shell. Take away that, and now you got all that energy that's out there. And the only reason that I do think that there's a strong possibility of this is I was in Michigan doing an investigation, and happy as can be laughing. I kid you not, I was just having a great time. I was, maybe goofing off a little bit too much. Walking to the cemetery of where I was going to host an investigation, do the investigation with 2 other team members of mine at the time. It's back in the mid-2000s. And like I said, I was happy as can be. My if anyone would see me, I was happy. Right when I touched that gate, I have no clue what came over me. I don't have any history of psychological situations. I wasn't heavily medicated.
Right.
But
Minorly medicated.
Minor. I was wasted off of my.
Man, I was so high.
So it's gonna be, guys. Don't do drugs or.
I saw all
drugs.
Especially while
I saw all kinds of stuff that night, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But when I touched that gate, though, that most interesting thing happened. I touched it, and of course my skeptic, buddy was with me. He was going to do the investigation with me. Touched it, got an intense fear, and it hit me so quick that I fell to the ground, pushing my legs off the ground to push me back, and I was shoving the other 2 people in front of me, crying. I just happy, laugh, pop. I was in that funk. And I do not know how that happened. I did not expect it to happen. So I think there's something to it.
Right.
I snapped out of it fast. I was embarrassed, actually, super embarrassed. Because, my buddy's a skeptic sitting right there going, this stuff. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Crap.
Okay.
So I jumped the fence, and I didn't feel any energy afterwards. But yeah, it hit me pretty strong.
That made me think of a story with. So one of my favorite musicians is a man named King Diamond, and so he was a firm believer in paranormal. He writes a lot of, especially his early stuff. He wrote about his own paranormal experiences. I was reading an interview with him recently, and he kind of collects World War II stuff. His dad was part of the Nazi resistance in Denmark.
Okay.
So I think it was his father-in-law found a pair of Nazi boots and gave it to him. He's thinking, wow. And of course, his father's this hero from Denmark that fought the Nazis, and so the boots look like they fit perfectly. Right. He tried them on, and he said that he was just overcome by this feeling of confidence and almost like a lack of empathy for anybody when he put them on. Almost like he just sort of felt invincible and like he was the only person that mattered, and he was kind of like felt like bossy, like he just wanted to tell people what to do. And I read this, and I'm a skeptic or whatever, but I love King Diamond's music, and I love reading interviews because he's such an interesting guy.
Right.
And so I guess I didn't.
Very cool.
I didn't know that attachments were kind of what.
Right.
Well, he was talking about.
He might have been experiencing.
Yeah, very well could be. All right, guys, on to the next question. Elena, you're awesome. Thank you so much for sending the question. A good one here, too.
Also from Twitter.
My Twitter community is a rock star.
Is it Alana?
Facebook, step it up.
Or Elena?
Elena.
Facebook
Elena.
is so 2000 though.
Right, Elena, I believe.
Okay.
We'll Google it later.
Elena?
Alana.
Is
Alina?
that how it's spelled?
Maybe it's
I believe
Alina.
it's Alana.
I would think that's more.
La 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 la.
We
Bob?
apologize.
All right. So scientists argue that paranormal investigators don't use scientific equipment in their investigations? Discuss.
Mm.
Okay, well, let me start this off, guys. Let me start this off.
Yeah, you're the guy, man.
Because I have had some discussions with much higher minds than I. And mind you, everyone, I'm not at all a scientist. Yeah, sure, I investigate, the paranormal. I'm just a regular working Joe. I don't have those degrees. I really hope having this YouTube channel and this show can spark some ideas in someone much, much smarter than me to pursue and actually figure this out, because I do think there's some substance to this. We do use scientific tools. There's no doubt that teams use them. The problem isn't that we don't use scientific tools. It's, are we using the right ones? Do we know how to use them? And we're not using scientific techniques.
There you go.
We can't use a controlled environment because it's paranormal. It's beyond normal. For something to be normal, you have to be able to duplicate it. You can't duplicate this with the right agent, in a controlled environment.
Yeah. Or something as simple as having a digital recorder, which is very useful. But if you got 5 people in the room with you and everyone's whispering and talking in the background, all your audio is it's compromised.
Let me kind of jump in there real quick.
And people do that sort of thing all the time.
A lot of teams are really good at addressing that with their overall team. And even with me when I go out there, is if you're in a large group, talk at your normal voice. And for any up-and-coming ghost hunters, talk at your normal voice. That way, own what you're going to say. That way, if you review the recordings later, you can determine.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, you get the whispers and what could it be? And could it be pareidolia, which is pretty much the man on the moon? We as humans like to go towards familiar smells, sights, as well as faces, being something that's very common that we like to recognize. So parapsychology is very, very huge, of course, in paranormal investigation.
I also think you need to educate yourself, too. You can't just watch TV shows and try to mimic what they're doing, because you really don't know what they're doing just off of viewing that.
And are they doing it right? I mean, you got to ask yourself these questions. You
For
got to
instance,
challenge yourself.
the K2 meter, it goes around and it measures electromagnetic fields in a home, right?
Of course.
And you know why you look for this stuff? Because we know from experience that it can cause you to hallucinate depending on how much power is being leaked. Yeah. And here's another thing. You ever drive around on the road and you see this guy in a suit up by the power line? You ever wonder why he's wearing that suit? I don't know if everyone's ever seen one of these people, but that power line, there are power lines up there that have so much power flowing through it, it's radiating energy. And with that much energy, once your body gets exposed to that, your brain functions. You'll start hallucinating. You can also feel heat. It's very hot, and that suit protects you, and it also protects your brain function from that amount of power that's flowing through that power line. Now, the reason why I said all this is that you got to understand what you're doing and educate yourself a little bit and understand how your body works and how your mind works. And
the big thing, jump on with the EMF detection itself. You can get those big doses of radiation, which is never good for you. And I think,
older homes with bad wiring.
I think the ghost hunters now, or the ones currently in this generation, we're probably going to discover some new form of cancer, radiation poison or something. So enjoy that, guys, me included. But the big phenomena with the idea of that energy is that it's free floating, because the typical scientific behavior of electromagnetic field, it's man-made, it emits. So that it's free floating, what's that? Doesn't necessarily mean it's a ghost. Mm-hmm. Let's think. Or is it glow? It might be a wire on the ground, or is it in the middle of the air? I caught an investigator. He submitted the video, and a lot of other investigators, and a good amount of investigators were going there. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. A lot of them swore that it was strange that he was getting such a high EMF detection, but the behavior of the detector was interesting to me. It kept kind of strobing. It just wasn't a natural, behavior. It was very mechanical. So right away, I'm like, okay, well, it's not paranormal. But no one knew what it was. I mean, it was on a wool blanket.
Okay.
And I saw that right away. The wool actually is a carrier of that energy, so it will just ride right on up. If it was by the bed, so it doesn't need
static.
Exactly,
Okay.
static electricity.
That's interesting.
Wow.
So if it's by the bed, it could be in the middle of the room, but now you're getting some of that offshoot. So yes, we use scientific instruments, but no, not everyone. We're not consistent as a group, guys. We're not consistent on really doing day-to-day data entry. It's a lot of data entry. If we really want to be scientists, it's a lot of data entry.
A lot of spreadsheets.
A lot of.
There you go. Excel.
Not for me, please. Give me a demon. All right, guys. Well, we're at the end of the show.
You guys are awesome. Awesome sauce.
You guys are awesome. But before I let these guys leave, because they've been here, well, I'll give you a backstory later. Let's kind of share a little bit who we are. I'm going to go ahead and start off with Travis.
All right. Well, hey, basically, like I said, I'm the team historian, and that's my passion. I actually am a history teacher, and whenever I have free time, that's what I devote my energy to, is just finding more history, anything, just specifically the Midwest. And when Aaron came to me and asked if I was, what's that?
Perfect choice.
Oh, why, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay. And he said, hey, I know you're a skeptic, but would you be interested in helping research some of the stuff that we're doing? And man, I've always been interested in ghost-related topics, even though I am pretty much just, as skeptical as you can get. So it was just an exciting thing, and I got to know you through improv. We actually used to do improv
Should do a
together.
ghost team movie.
Yeah, we should.
You're angry, and I am lonely.
Yeah, there you go. Typecasting right there.
Oh.
But yeah, I used to see Aaron around, and I was working with an improv company, and they'll remain nameless, and then later I started my own. That one will also remain nameless. And I asked him to join when I started my own, and so we did that.
But I'll let you know when I joined.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all I'm up to. I don't really have a social media presence.
It's okay.
Hopefully at some point I will put something together, because I'm hoping to do
Everybody's
more
judging you.
with the history stuff and have it out there, so it's not just
Yeah.
for myself and my wife to enjoy.
Awesome. Well, Aaron Hunter, tell us who you are, where you're from, or how can we get hold of you?
Man, no one wants to listen to me
You
anymore.
got 30 seconds, go.
Well, okay, I'm Aaron Hunter. I produce the hit show Real Paranormal Activity, the podcast, and we're worldwide. We're also down on Monday evenings. We're down in Vegas at kcorradio.com, about 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. But we're also on iHEART Radio, so you can use the iHEART app and add us to your favorites if you want to listen to us, so we're there too. But if you want to use your podcast catcher on your smart device, whatever it is, tablet or phone, just do a search for Real Paranormal Activity, and you can download all the episodes for free right to your phone. 91 plus episodes right now, and we are in our second season. Of course, we that's how most people listen to the show, is by getting it onto their smartphones or tablets, and they listen to us at work or whatever. And what the whole show is about is, as I mentioned before, is people write into the show, and they tell us their stories, and I read it back in a ghostly, scary manner with background music sometimes. But we also do a lot of interviews with psychics, mediums, even movie stars.
Justin Long?
A little bit of everything. I don't recall him coming on, but Justin, if you want to get a hold of me, go ahead. All right. But yeah, Monday nights, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, kcorradio.com. Love you, Tina. And go to just to our website if you like, realparanormalactivity.com, or just download the episodes onto your phone or tablet. And that's about it. I, at Twitter, or my Twitter account is at RPA Podcast. Go to Facebook. The show there is, we got our page there, Real Paranormal Activity, the podcast.
All the links are below, guys. So
Yeah.
Right down there.
they're down
Right, I think
there.
it's
right. It's right
I think
underneath.
that
Yep.
one might be right there.
That's it.
Over there.
Sorry.
All for free.
What? All for free.
Nice.
Well, guys,
Let's hear about you,
wow.
other
what?
Aaron.
Stop it, other Aaron.
Yeah, I'm Aaron H, and you're Aaron GT.
Yeah.
GT Aaron, man.
GT. I thought you were gonna say 1 and 2. I was like, oh, okay, who's gonna be 1 and 2 here? You are my number 1. But anywho, yeah, guys. Hi, my name's Aaron G. Thompson. I've been doing this paranormal song and dance, since the late 90s, 1999. I'm kind of pinpointing it too. I had to hit the books. I hit the books for about 2 years, pretty hard. Just getting literature, getting what I can on the websites at the time. I had no real mentor group to look at, but I was curious to see, is there life after death? I'm interested enough to see if we move on to something. Clearly, I'm still doing it, so I might think there's something into this. I've started the Ghost Crier project, I'm kind of loosely calling it. It's ghostcrier.com is the website. You can see all our adventures there. But yeah, this is my step into the professional realm of paranormal investigating without the luxury of a television company, a national television company. I honestly want to do this with you telling me what you want. And with that in mind, we do have a Patreon at patreon.com/ghostcrier. There's like 20 links down below, and you can probably click right there and right. I'm kidding, maybe. Might put those in.
Put one right over your
Yeah,
head.
right over there. Beep, beep.
Right on your forehead.
Yeah, punch me in the face, bro. Come at me. Come at me. $1 a month. Done. Thank you.
Hey, anything helps.
Right. No, I'll tell, dude.
50 cents here and there. Boom.
I would take that. And then, guys, I'm very sincere about this. This is something I want to do and want to pursue as a profession. And this is how we can do it with the luxury of, the internet and having this opportunity for us. So yeah, I got about a three-year plan, looking September 2018 to go full career bound. At least brown, career brown. That sounds delicious. Speaking of delicious, guys, this is it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching the show.
Love you.
guys
You're awesome. Awesome.
And if you're still watching this far, safe word is thumbs up. Send it on Twitter. So
That's a safe word. Is that why you didn't stop? I thought it was green balloons.
Oh no. Safe thing. This is just a test to make sure you watch the whole thing. Guys, Ghost achievement unlocked.
Until next time, guys. Catch you later.
Your brain must be on fire. Raise your spirit to the ghost crier. Slam the door. You're shaking, scared. Live your life with so much fear. Wipe your eyes, hide your tears. Stop. Let me make this clear. This about you and me. No blind mutiny. Only para-unity. Together we will see. Peace. Check the other vids. Go. Ghostcrier.com. Magic is only undiscovered science.